Okay, so let's look what happens when you pull a whole completed track into live. Most of the time, it's not going to automatically warp this correctly. So I'm going to double click on it, and let's just see how it did. It said 61.5 as the BPM. Unlikely. So let's just turn the metronome on and listen to it. Okay, so first of all, I can tell, because I know this track well, this is a track of mine, that it's playing it like really, really fast. So if I want to hear it at the tempo that it thinks it's at, what I'm going to do is set my master tempo to the same as what it is down here. So 61.5. So let's set our master tempo at 61.5. Okay, so now it's going to play at its original tempo, we think. Okay, the metronome actually sounds pretty right on. Okay, that's actually pretty good. I'm surprised. But here's how I would make sure. What I want to show you here is that a lot of the time when you're warping full tracks, there's an intro that is going to really skew everything weird. So it might be like really out of time, but then once the beat comes in, it's easy to lock onto. So what you can do there is if I go to this tune, this is something where it's a little bit screwy in the beginning, but eventually a kick is going to come in and it's just going to be really straight. So we want to find that point. There it is. Okay, so that kick came in right here. What I can do, if you're in a situation where the intro has made Ableton guess really strange, go to right where it gets straight and obvious, right where the beat comes in or something like that. Put a warp marker down. Then I'm going to control click on that warp marker. I'm going to say set 1 here. That means treat this as the beginning. I didn't get rid of this older stuff. But then once you do that, you can say warp from here. And now it's basically going to say, I'm not going to worry about the intro stuff. I'm just going to go from here, and I'm probably going to be right on from there. Turn my metronome on to check. Okay, so we have an interesting case here. So 61.5 doesn't seem right, and if I listen to my metronome, there's a subtle thing that's wrong, right? My metronome is actually in halftime. So what I'm hearing as the beat is 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if we look at our metronome or look at our time up here, what live thinks our beat is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's halftime. So that might be fine. Maybe that's okay. But what we can do is we can just double our tempo here. So I'm going to hit this X2. Now it says 123 even. That's more likely. Because again, this is my track. I wrote the track, and I know I didn't do like a 0.5 BPM. Okay, so now let's set this to 123, and we should hear it again. Same tempo. And now our metronome is dead on. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So keep an eye on this double time, and this is half time thing. Now, when you're warping stuff, there are two different ways to warp things. We don't need to do it here, but I want to show you anyway. Let's say this was in the wrong spot. I can make a warp marker, and what I might do is make anchors on either side of that warp marker. That's going to preserve everything on the outsides, right? So if I just move this, it's going to move everything before it back to this anchor, but nothing before that anchor, because this is just kind of an anchor, right? It's not going to let anything prior to it get moved around. But anything in front of this is going to get moved around, right? See how that one right here just kind of holds everything down? Okay, so if I said, okay, we're right before here and maybe we're right after here, I can put an anchor down there. That's going to make it so we're only moving stuff around between these two anchor points. Okay, that can be a useful trick, so watch out for that. Now there is another way to do warping where we're not actually moving around the waveform, but we're more moving around the timeline, kind of. Let's go to a new video and talk about that.